Okay, let's start our discussion. And first of all, we have these questions basically, and these questions are from ICAEW study manual. The students who are going to join me, I will share the complete study material, including notes, question bank, each and everything with them basically. I know that some of you joined us for first few sessions. Some of you may not join us for first few session. So that's not an issue. Just share your email. I will share the recording after the class. But in today's session, we are going through some of the practice questions. So what approach you should use to solve your question basically. First of all, you will look at the requirement. And if we look at this question, then first of all, we have requirement. We have to assess. The important word is we have to assess. You will see different words, for example, define, identify, explain, assess, evaluate, contrast, and many other different words. As we will be solving the question, so we can see what are different words and what each word mean basically, because it is very, very important. For example, if it is about identification, then just you need to identify and very, very briefly explain. If it is about explain or explanation, then it means you need to provide a lot of details. If it is about contrast, if it is about highlight, so different words, different keywords mean different meaning. In assessment, we have to determine, we have to see, assess the opportunities and threats. First of all, opportunities and threats. We can see that between opportunities and threats, there is a word and. If you see a word and, it means your requirement has been divided into multiple portions. First of all, before and second after and basically. This is a very, very important point because students read out requirement in a very quick way. If you read out your requirement in a quick way, it is quite possible that you may miss some of the keywords of your requirement. If you are going to miss out some of your keyword, then unfortunately, you are going to lose some of your marks. So please very, very careful whenever you read out the requirement, then at least you should read the requirement 2 to 3 times, just to make sure you do not miss out any keyword, any sub requirement for your question. Secondly, if you will miss out, then let's say if you come back and then you read the requirement again, then you will be having an idea, oh, sorry, I have missed out this requirement. So your time has passed, so you are overrunning with time. There is a lot of panic in your mind. So there will be a lot of issues basically. So to avoid that hassle, it is advisable, always read out your requirement with patience, with time, understand, and then you should move. Obviously, we are solving our first question, so we will take a lot of time. Apart from that, as we will be solving the question, my main purpose is to make sure that you understand these questions. So definitely, we will take a little bit longer amount of time as compared to your original time of your exam, basically. Assess the opportunities and threats in STF's external environment. And again, we have a word and. We have to evaluate. Yes, this is a word. We have to evaluate its ability to respond to them basically. So in requirement, we have 3 areas. First of all, we have to discuss the opportunity. Secondly, we have to discuss about threats. And we have to also evaluate to judge our ability, STF's ability to respond to them, how you can respond to different points basically. So this is our requirement for interactive question number 1. So let's read out our scenario and then we can move on. Whenever you read out the requirement, I always highlight your ICAEW exam software also allows you to go for highlighting. Even multiple colors highlighting is also allowed. So that is something beneficial because if you use just one color, so that is also fine. But again, it looks like a same thing. But if you use different colors, so it looks like as a human being that there are different things that are being asked. So you can use different colors, same color, it entirely depends on you. but my advice would be you should highlight your requirement keywords. Now you have an idea and then you can move on. Otherwise, most of the students directly start with reading the scenario and lastly they read out the requirement. If you are going to do this, then it means you are reading the scenario with no aim, with no question in your mind. For example, if you have no idea, then this question might be about your strength, weaknesses, Porter 5 forces, value chain, BCG metric, Ansoff metric, product life cycle, target costing, or any other model. But when I go through this requirement, then I have an idea that I have to discuss only opportunities, threats, and my ability to respond to them. So now I am in a better position to tackle this question. SCF company provides domestic transport services. Yes, this is my main business. Services by which means by air and sea between a country's mainland and a group of islands about 50 kilometers offshore. So that is your business, what you are doing. The company operates two ships. One of these transport freight only and the other transports passenger and freight. So you have only two ships. Yes, this could be your limitation because you have only two ships. Apart from two ships, your one ship is specific for freight and other is for freight and passengers. So what if it could be possible that there could be a demand, more passengers might be interested in traveling to that particular place. So what you are going to do? Let's read out the question and then we are going to answer. The ship has a capacity of up to 250 passengers. So in one time, you can carry 250 passengers. Now we will see how many times in a day or how many times in a week your ship goes through this particular route. So how many passengers you can carry? What are different opportunities that could be available in this area? The islands are a popular holiday destination. Yes, this is something a very, very important keyword, popular holiday destination. So out of holiday days, it could be possible you might not go with 250 passengers, but when there is a holiday destination like their vacation, it could be possible there could be a lot of customers. So a lot of passengers might have to wait for their queue to go through this particular island. If there is a popular holiday destination, then you might need to go for different ships basically, because there could be a lot of people traveling to that area for their holidays, for their vacation. And the passenger service is well used, particularly by tourists in the holiday season, as I just mentioned. SCF is the only provider of sea transport. Again, a very, very important thing. SCF is only provider of sea transport. So what could be the best thing apart from this point? Because there is a no competition, no competitor of you. So you can charge prices, what you can do. You can carry things, you can do anything what you want to do because you are only provider of sea transport. We know that there are two routes. First of all, through aerial route. Second, it is sea. But in sea, we are the only person. Through air, there could be other person as well. But we have to compare. Obviously, your air traveling would be a little bit costly as compared to sea. So everyone has to manage their own budgets, their preferences, and then they are going to decide basically. To the island for passengers, although wealthy tourists visit in their private boats, yes, you can go. Obviously, wealthy person can go for their private boats, but if you talk about publicly, majority of people, they are going through this particular ship basically. So there is an opportunity as well. You can also go through some private boats area as well. You can offer private boats to different rich and wealthy individuals. This was my first paragraph. Always, it is a very, very important because it gives us information about company, about industry, what you are doing and what you can do for. Each ship normally makes a return trip between mainland and in island each day. So on regular basis, you go for that. The only exceptions are in off-peak season when the ships are sometimes taken out of service for repairs and refitting, and also during bad weather. So that could be the limitation when the seas are rough and it is considered unsafe to sail. Yes, it is good, it is advisable not to travel when weather conditions are not good. So definitely people might be forced to go through the air, but it will depend. Either there is some sort of urgency or they want to travel for some personal reasons like for enjoying traveling and so on. SCF also operates a number of aircrafts. So that's a very good thing. You are not only in sea, you also have number of aircraft. So it means you are in market, you are in good business between mainland and the island. Unlike its sea service, its air service is not a monopoly. Yes. Why it is not a monopoly? Because there are other airlines also here as well. So in sea service, you have a monopoly, but in airline, you don't have a monopoly because we have other competitors too. Now, next, read the next paragraph. The main industries on island are tourism and agriculture. This is something good. So if tourism is there, that's good. If agriculture is there, this is something more good because agriculture, most of the time, your agriculture is not seasonal. Tourism is seasonal, like when there will be holiday destination, that is fine. But agriculture is on regular basis most of the time. The main agricultural business is the cultivation of fruit, which is sold to retailers and exporters on main inland. Most of this produce is transported from island to mainland in SCF ships. Obviously, when fruits will be converted, will be transferred from one place to another place, then they have to use their different ships of STF. Most islands are employed in business linked to tourist industry, such as hotel accommodation, catering, retail services, and boat hire. However, the tourist season currently lasts for only 7 months. So here we have some more detail about your tourist season. That is something good as well. So you have business, you have tourist season for 7 months. So what about remaining 5 months? Obviously, for remaining 5 months, you can go for agriculture, you can go for other areas as well. Even so, it has been rumored that a global company in the tourism business is considering whether to establish operations in island and would probably introduce flights direct from other countries to main airport on the island. So here is a news, but nothing is confirmed. So you cannot say anything. But definitely you must consider because it could be a threat for you. But again, it is basically about your air flights and not about sea transport. STF has a good reputation of reliability. So that is something good for you, a good reputation for reliability. Obviously, you are traveling, so important thing will be reliability, safety, and passenger care because you are traveling through sea, anything could happen. So that is something good. So it's a strength basically. You can use your strength to attract more and more customers. So there could be a lot of good opportunities. You can advertise on this basis basically. However, it has been increasing the price of travel by ship for passengers, although the cost of air travel to and from the island remains higher. Yes. Obviously, you have monopoly. If you have monopoly, then definitely you are going to change the prices because people are going for their luxury for different environments to enjoy their different holidays. So you can charge different prices. But again, the cost of air travel is very high as compared to your sea transport. So it also shows that you have a monopoly in this business. The increase in price was promoted by narrowing profit margin in sea services, freight, and passenger. Business customers have so far successfully resisted an increase in freight charges. The fruit business on inland is continuing to grow at a fast rate and is expected that soon at some times of the year, one boat will be insufficient to transport all the food production from island to mainland. So what it is basically, if you think one boat will be insufficient, it means there is an opportunity STF should consider about buying another boat, buying another ship basically, because our agriculture business is growing, our fruit business is growing, and demand is rising in a very good pace. So we should consider either we should buy another boat and the ship or what we have to do. The company has mooring rights on mainland and island for its ship. That is something very, very good because you have copyrights. Anyone who wants to go for sea business or who wants to go for air business, you need to purchase some of your copyrights, and that's a good thing for you because you already have copyrights. These are negotiated with local government authorities for a period of 5 years. So good amount of time. Your rights would be for 5 years, so you could have a lot of business within your 5 years of time period. And then you can consider either you need to renegotiate with your government authorities or you want to discontinue. And these rights are due for renegotiation next year. So our rights will be renegotiated. Our 5-year term will be completed in next year, basically. So it is second last year. So it will depend how we are going to renegotiate with our government authorities. In the past year, 2 hotel complexes have been opened on two of the island. So that is another opportunity for you. 2 hotel complexes have been opened. Why it is a good thing for you? Because if someone is investing, if there are some hotels, it means someone have to live in their particular hotel. If someone has to live, then definitely people will be visiting that particular place. And obviously people will be traveling either through sea or through air. But as it has been mentioned, the price, the fare of air traveling is little bit high as compared to sea traveling. So most of the people are going through different ships, obviously the ships of STF. Increasing the amount of tourists to island, it means there is a growth. There are a lot of opportunities for hotel industry and many other industries too. The additional passenger traffic has been accommodated by STF ship and an increase in air services. Yes, obviously if there is a no space in STF ship, then you are being bound, either you have to wait or you need to go through some air service. But new hotel complexes apparently have plans for further expansion. Again, it shows there is a lot of growth opportunity. Still, you have 2 hotels, more and more expansion plans are there for hoteling industry. And the developer has just been granted permission by government to build a large new holiday complex on one of the uninhabited island, basically. So another person is there, another developer we have basically. So there is going to be a tough competition between hotel industry. So people are going to enjoy. This will be something beneficial for the customer because they can negotiate with their hotel rates, hotel charges basically. But again, that is something in favor of our business. Why? Because we see some good growth opportunities in this case. The new complex will accommodate up to 500 customers. You should link this number with your capacity. You can see that we have a capacity of 250 passengers. Our one ship can carry 250 passengers. This hotel have a capacity of 500 customers. That is twice of our one ship capacity. Apart from this single complex, we also have 2 hotel complexes. They are also going for further expansion. If you do not know how many new hotels will be there, so it means a lot of customers can stay there. So it means you might need to increase your number of ships during your busy season of tourists. Constantly throughout the year, and the average stay is expected to be for between 1 and 2 weeks. So good amount to stay here, 1 to 2 weeks basically. This complex will include sailing and sport facilities and also to golf courses. Most of the staff needed to operate the complex will be recruited from mainland and island, and about 400 jobs will be created. Lot of employment opportunities are there. Earlier, we were just talking about here we have agriculture, here we have tourist destination, but now as new hotels are going to be there, new complexes are going to be there, a lot of businesses there. So 400 jobs will be there. It means the employees will also be going through different medium. They will also be traveling. But most of the time, employees will be choosing the option which is relatively less costly for him. So that is going to be the SDF ship. The island will not be served by its own airport. Again, a very, very good news for you. Might not be for some of the wealthy person, but good news for you. This will not be served by its own airport. Earlier we talked about we have two routes through airport, through air, and second through sea. If airport is not allowed, it will not be served. Then the only way is basically through sea, through ship. And right now, just STF is here. So that's a very, very good news for STF. Your rights are due for renegotiation next year. So definitely you should renegotiate with some good terms to get some good profit, good margin. So everything will be in favor of STF. And people visiting the island will have to go by sea, either directly from mainland or from main island. One way or other way, you have an option to go through sea. The developers of complex have announced that they are considering the negotiation of 10-year agreement with the transport company and for the exclusive rights to transport their customers from mainland to island complex. Negotiation of 10-year agreement to transport their customers. Again, that is something good for you. Growth opportunities, developers, hotel, agriculture business. And lastly, you are negotiating for 10 years. That is also more than your renegotiation rights with government. So it looks like there are a lot of good growth opportunities and we should go for that. And we have just completed our discussion. And lastly, STF has been very profitable. Obviously, you should be profitable. You are the only company in sea. Monopoly for you, no one is allowed to go for there. But the owners have been taking out most of profits as dividend. So this could be the problem. So we should highlight with another color. Yes, it makes me worried. Lot of growth opportunities, but you are taking as a part of dividend each year, and the company has only limited capital. So that is a problem. The biggest problem with SCF is here now. So you have to be very, very careful. If you just miss out one or two lines of your structure of your scenario, then your discussion, your answer might be different. Most of profits as dividend. So it means very less profits are available to go for further expansion, to further go for growth of SCFY. The above scenario, above discussion shows that there are a lot of opportunities in the form of agriculture, hotel complexes, new contracts, new jobs, food production, and many other opportunities are here. So the best thing should be like you should go for advice, you should go for growth of SCF, more and more ships should be there, and then you can take out as many profits as you can. Now we can read out our requirement again. Assess the opportunities and threats in SCF external environment, and we have to evaluate its ability to respond to them. This was the requirement. We completed our discussion. We completed our scenario reading. So what we are going to do, I will mention that you people can take approximately 8 to 10 minutes of time, read out the scenario again, and then we can discuss what are your points basically. So it's not basically about right or wrong. Just share. I expect that every candidate is going to share at least 2 to 3 opportunities and threats and their relevant suggestions basically. And then I will also share some of my views here as well. So you people can take approximately 8 to 10 minutes of time, share some of your points, and then we can go for our discussion. Thank you. It's 10:46. Our time has completed, and now I will allow everyone to, you can use your mic and start our discussion. Does any volunteer who want to contribute, either in the form of opportunities or in the form of threats? Please share.
Yes, I think I can add few points. So, so in terms of, I think opportunities. So there is an increase in the fruit business and its growing market. So expectedly, there is an opportunity that a business will continue growing, and as it was mentioned there, that we will not be able to ship all the fruits. So there might be like opportunity, but on the other side, we need to see the demand side as well. To what extent there is demand on the mainland. So this is one of the opportunity. Or definitely the solution will be to add more ships or more maybe trips or something to increase the trade. Then next is the new hotel complex, as it will add up to more visitors, and more hotels means more tourism in future. And so definitely there's a need for either more ships or air travel for these new additions. Plus, this 10 years agreement is definitely will be opportunity, and but keeping in view that the current business margins and profitability, like without impacting those things, how can we negotiate the price? So in terms of threats, I think I'll just mention quickly a couple of. One is this new global tourist company, which is thinking to start business. Currently, it's mentioned in the scenario that they might introduce air travel, but it's the same time because the sea site is also quite attractive, good margins, and there's no other competitor. So there's still a threat that a substitute services might be introduced. Dividend, as you mentioned, is because the liquidity can be a problem, a challenge. So there's now the option either will be more cash injection from the shareholders in terms of expansion, or maybe the borrowing or some sort of fundings.
Thank you, sir,
That
for
yeah.
thank you, sir, for your valuable contribution. I really appreciate. Another person who wants to contribute either in the form of opportunities and threats other than mentioned by our candidate Asli.
Uh, in my case, I think he has mentioned most of the items that I had identified, but maybe just to add, um, from the text, we identified that they only have two pieces of equipment in terms of the ships, and that on its own, I think is a risk, and because the two are specifically, the other one is dedicated specifically for freight, and the other one is dedicated to is a dual purpose, and they only have those two to service that particular cause, and that on its own, I think it's a threat, because I think that's a thing, the asset base there. Should anything happen to either of them, then they have no replacement equipment to cater for the demand and to cater for the services.
Okay, thank you, Masvid, for your contribution. Yes, anyone else who can mention the threats, basically one or two threats are also there. Can anyone mention what are those?
Um, I don't know whether this one is far-fetched, but if I was going to write, it's probably this would be at the end. I would say because they are a monopoly and they seem to have been doing well for some time. I think there's a threat of new entrants coming into play. Um, because there is no from the text there isn't any regulation or any that we have come across that prohibits others from entering the market except the negotiation of the rights. Should then the regulator decide to award the contract the rights to someone else, that's a threat on its own.
Yes, Masvid, to some extent, you are right. First of all, you mentioned that there could be a threat of new entrant. It could be possible, but as we review our scenario, so it is, I think, not being mentioned that anyone could go through the sea side. In air side, we have one global company that can come across, but for sea side, it is not yet mentioned, I think, in our scenario. Your second point was good because you have mooring rights and your rights are renegotiation for next year. It is possible that they might be renegotiated or they may not be renegotiated in next year discussion with government authority. So that's a huge threat, a significant threat, because what if you don't have renegotiation rights with good terms and conditions? So you have nothing, you cannot have your business, you cannot go for ship, you cannot go with your air, or it is quite possible you may lose one of the right because there could be different rights for ship or different rights for air, or there might be same right because it is not mentioned in our scenario. But I believe this is a significant threat for us because what if our rights are not renegotiated? Second threat was basically about global company as it has been mentioned by the other and the candidate. Thank you for that. Another point that is already being mentioned by the Masri, thank you for that, because we have just two ships, so that could be a biggest threat. And we have just 250 passengers capacity. Still, one hotel has a capacity of 500 customers. 400 jobs are going to be there. A lot of complex agriculture, tourism, lot of businesses are there. So it's quite possible we may not go for these demand basically, and ultimately it will result in loss of customer, loss of sales, and ultimately the profitability. So that was the all from my side and from all of you. Thank you very much for this contribution. Anyone who has some questions, some query, or some point to discuss for this question, let me know. Otherwise, we will move to our next question basically. No question? Okay, we can move to our next interactive question. Now we will cover the interactive question 4 and then come back to other questions basically. If you look at the requirement, then we have this. We have to evaluate CPH PLC's business portfolio using BCG matrix. We have to evaluate this using our BCG matrix. So we have to evaluate this their business portfolio. CPH PLC is a diversified with business units in 4 different industries. Diversified sector, diversified company, The original CPH business was a construction company. However, and the construction division remains the largest business within the group. So different divisions, different businesses, but construction is the largest proportion of your business. CPH PLC total revenue for last financial year was $12.9 billion. Such a huge revenue. Split across groups, 4 trading companies as follows. Construction sector 5.4 billion, as you can see, it's the largest sector of CPH PLC. Engineering $3.5 billion, transport $2.8 billion, gaming $1.2 billion. 4 businesses and 4 different sectors for revenues. The following market information has also been produced by management accountants of each of the 4 trading companies. So we have to think, we have market growth and we have turnover of nearest rival. So highlight this thing that we have a turnover of nearest rival basically. And here we have our market growth. So let me highlight it in entry color. So for construction, there is a 2% growth and nearest rival revenue is $3.8 billion. Engineering sector, 4% growth, $8.7 billion revenue. Transport sector, 11% growth, $4.7 billion revenue. And for gaming, we have a 13% market growth and we have a nearest revenue of nearest rival that is $0.7 billion. What we have to do, let me just share some clue with you people. You have to evaluate, you have to look at your own revenues of CPH, and you also have to consider that market growth and also consider what are turnover of your different competitors for different sectors basically. And ultimately you have to use your BCG metric. As we know that in BCG metric we will go for star product, we will go for cash cow, we will go for dog product, and we will also discuss who is the question mark basically. It's quite possible there could be one or more star, one or more dogs, cash cow, or question mark, or there might be only one star, one cash cow, one dog, and one question mark. So now you people can take approximately 5 minutes because it's a relatively small question. Just take 5 minutes of time, share your views, and then we are going to share its relevant solution basically. Thank you. Just take 5 minutes and share your relevant. Okay, we can start our discussion. Yes, you people can contribute. What you think for star, question mark, cash cow, and a dog product.
Yes, I'm not sure if I get it right, but I'll just try. I think so. Gaming is star because we have higher market share plus there's high market growth, and then transport is question mark. Why is question mark? Like in transport we have even though like its market growth is 11%, but our share is less. So market share is less, but market growth is more. So this is a question mark. So we need to figure out how to deal with it. And construction is cash cow because even though there is low market growth, but still we have a higher share because our revenues are highest 5.4 and the next rival is around 3.8. And engineering is dog because we have around 3.5 and the like in market, like the next person is who is in rival is 8.7 and market like low market growth, but we have low market share.
Yes, thank you, sir. Your answers are perfectly right. But why you think any basis, any calculation, why you think these are particular star, cash cow, dog, or question mark?
You mean the basis or?
Yes, the basis of your classification. Apart
Yeah,
from,
yeah,
apart,
because if we see, like, for example, in dog, so why I classify engineering, because as I mentioned, engineering, so like we are it's like low market growth, which is 4%, and our revenue is 3.5. But in the market, if you see, turnover of nearest rival is 8.7. So clearly, like, we have low, this is a product of low market growth, but our share is also very low.
yes, that's good. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
we have to consider to both of the areas, market growth as well as our share, and
Yes.
we have to compare with our nearest rival. Because someone might consider like there is a 2% growth, so it is going to be a dog. So that will be a wrong approach because it's a growth factor. And we also need to consider about our market share. In construction side, we can see that our share is 5.4, but our competitors have a share of 3.8. So it is going out to be 5.4 divided by 3.8. So it will give us 1.42 in terms of our market share. If we talk about engineering side, then our revenue is 3.5 divided by a revenue of 8.7. Yes, a relatively small figure, that is 0.40 approximately. Transportation sector 2.8 divided by 4.7, relatively high, is 0.60. And lastly, for gaming side, it is 13%. Our revenue is 1.2 divided by 0.7. It is going out to be 1.71. That is a high. Obviously, that is going to be high. That is a low. That is a low. That is a high as well. So you can draw a diagram just like you can, as we discussed earlier, and then you can classify. You will take up the market share, you will use your own revenues, on figures, and then you can say. So definitely gaming is basically our star. Transport sector is basically our question mark. Engineering sector is basically our dog. And construction sector is basically about cash cow. So in our exam, so what we have to do, we also need to draw this brief calculation just to make sure that we are very much clear, we know the logic, and then we have to discuss. Thank you, sir, for your discussion. And so that was all from my side for this question. Anyone else who wants to contribute or share his or her views, please let me know. Otherwise, we will move to our next question for today.
So no, just here. So this calculation. So when we calculate market share, because I even wanted to do. So this is more clear to do some calculations before to make a decision. But so here in the blue highlighted, where we are seeing turnover of nearest rival. So this is just maybe another company, but calculation should not be like with the overall market share. When we say market share, so it should be my share, which is 5.4 divided by total market of construction business, or we can use this as a just analysis purpose. We can use this.
Yes, thank you, sir. That's a good question. It could be a total market share, but considering the question's limitation, we just have the data for our nearest rival. So my discussion was for nearest rival. If in your exam, if your nearest rival is available, if your company data is available, then you have to see, and most appropriately, you should select the basis that is available for entire sector, like for complete construction sector, engineering sector, transport, and gaming sector. One clue. Second thing is basically, for example, you have different bases, so you should not go for different bases. You should use the same statistic basically. For example, if one company is one country, second company is another country, so your foreign currency movements might play different role. So you have to choose relevant basis basically. So select the data which is available. So in this case, it was nearest rival. If we have complete industry data, then we can use it to here as well.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, then and now our question is completed. Now we can move to our next question, that is interactive question 5. Now we have this question, and it is interactive question number 5, and this question is basically about the value chain. So it is our requirement: apply value chain analysis to college activities. Yes, this is our case. We have a college, a tuition center, a college, a study mechanism, and we have to evaluate how value chain analysis could be used to assess why the rate of transfer to ABC from other providers is increasing. Read it again. Apply value chain analysis to college activities. This is the first thing. So what we are going to do, as we know that in value chain, we have two types of activities. We have primary activities, first of all, and then we have secondary or support activities. So you should identify what are primary activities. Even in primary activities, you will go for 5 different classes: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and lastly, you will go for after sales services. So each and every item will be classified in a particular column, as I just mentioned. Same thing for secondary or sport activities. So you will mention what are your secondary or sport activities, basically like your procurement, technology, HRM, human resource, or infrastructure, basically, and infrastructure. So that will be my first point. And then second point is basically we have to evaluate how value chain analysis could be used to assess why the rate of transfer to ABC from other providers is increasing, why their rate is increasing, what they are doing much better than for our company. So it's quite possible that students will just go for the first point because they think they will read out the requirement in a very quick fashion, and they think this question is basically about value chain. Oh, I know that it is basically about primary and secondary activities. That's fine. No, you are missing some portion of your question. Please very careful and also answer the last portion of your requirement, because the examiner also know that students are going to miss out this portion. Now let's read out our question. A private college, ABC Limited, provides training for professional accountancy qualification. Thank you very much, because all of us are also going to be a chartered accountant after qualifying, or some of them are already qualified accountants. It generates the majority of its funds from employers and self-financing students. For most qualifications, there are a number of stages that students need to go through before attaining full accreditation. This can take up to 4 years. Yes, definitely. You cannot qualify within 6 months or 1 year. It takes a little bit amount of time. In recent years, the college has placed emphasis on recruiting lecturers who have achieved success by delivering good academic knowledge of syllabus in class. As a result, ABC Limited students have had good pass rates. This has led to the college further improving its reputation within the academic community, and applications from prospective students for its courses have increased significantly. Significant increase in application. The college has good student support facilities, something good, including online learning support, student help desk, and excellent material. Student help desk and excellent material. It has recently implemented a sophisticated online student booking system. Courses at the ABC College are administered by well-qualified and trained non-teaching staff who provide non-academic support to lecturers and students. The college has had no difficulty in filling its courses. The college has also noted a significant increase in number of students transferring from other training providers in last year. So that is our complete data for this question. I highlighted some of the points, but I also didn't highlight some of the points. The only reason is that I want you people to highlight what is more, what could be done, what are more points for our answer and for our discussion. So that is our complete reading of first question for value chain. We have read out the requirement. It's 11:19 at my clock, so it's a little bit technical as compared to previous questions. So I think 10 minutes time would be appropriate. You people can take 10 minutes of time. What do you think? What is appropriate for your primary and secondary activities? And more appropriately, why you think why this rate is increasing? So we will discuss after 10 minutes of time. Thank you. Please think, and then we are going to start. Fine, time is complete. Now we can start our discussion. So anyone who wants to contribute, first of all, for primary activities, then for secondary, and then for last portion of our requirement. Please start our discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, I can add few, but a question before we mention, is there any number of activities which we require to add, or it can be any, like there's no specific numbers, right? In the model?
No, it's basically not about the numbers. So most of the time you will be focusing on your question. Like we have a scenario for private college. So most of our discussion will be around ABC Limited. That is our academic sector.
Okay. Okay. So actually, in this case, I think so. In terms of primary activities, we have some good quality lecturers who have good experience in the teaching. Then we have some, like, we have very good learning material which is being used, and then online platform. Again, this is really good. And in terms of support activities, I think there are the student sports. They have student sport program which are doing well. Student help desk and online booking system which facilitates this process. Plus, there's these non-teaching staff which is trained enough. They're not involved in teaching, so I kept it as support activities. But again, I think I would like to hear from others and you, or if there are any things which I missed, or maybe some classification may not be correct.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Before we go for the detailed discussion, one point is that basically, first of all, we should try to get maximum point from ABC Limited. But as we can see that we have a very limited data, obviously, because it's just a small example from our some of the learning points. So most of discussion through ABC, but as we can see that our data is limited. But if we talk about, so in primary activities, we have 5 activities: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and services. And in support activities, we have procurement, technology, HRM, and infrastructure. And if you look through just 3 to 4 paragraph, so definitely these paragraph might not be a complete answer. So what we can do, so we can go beyond this relevant case, because we just need to mention what will be relevant for our discussion. If I start my discussion, let's say for primary activities, thank you, sir, for your contribution. For primary activities, like inbound logistics. Inbound logistics mean anything that is coming within your organization. Let's say, first of all, it is students, number of students basically, because students are going to join your college. So students are coming outside, they are within your organization. So that is the very first thing that we are going to mention, student. Then it is the staff. because we have a good lecturers, as it has been mentioned in this scenario. So we have good lecturers, we have good staff, we have facilities, we have course structure. This is basically about inbound. So approximately 3 to 4 points for one particular heading would be a good job. You can mention more than that, but at least 3 to 4 points. For operations, what are our operation? As we can see from this situation, we are going through our study material here as well. So study material production, course material production, you can say we have online learning support, like you can say virtual learning. We have different types of technologies. That is basically about your operation side. If we talk about outbound logistic, outbound mean something that is out. That's why it is called as outbound logistic. So in outbound logistics, that is basically providing the material, access to online learning, because someone who is outside your organization is also joining your courses. Lecture style, that is basically your outbound logistics. Marketing and sales, obviously in marketing, again, the important point is basically how you are going for your advertisement, how you are going for your marketing, different courses, their advertisement, your website, your promotional material like flyer, brochure, each and everything basically. And also, what about your research, what about your cost, your prices. And lastly, that is services, or you can say after sale services. So in after sale services, it means how much support and what kind of support you are getting from this college, from this institution, basically. And what about your development? What about your other programs, basically? So that's a brief overview about our primary activities. Now moving forward for sport activities in sport, first of all, we will go for procurement. Procurement not limited with purchase, a complete cycle of buying something and relevant good prices, good terms, that is called as procurement, a brief definition as we discussed in our previous session. So for procurement, as we know that we are going through our material, so printed material would be a part of procurement, some type of sports staff, students, other staff, admin staff will be a part of procurement area because they are going to join your organization. Technology, again, technology like we are studying through e-learning mode, online mode, the best option, the best thing to consider is basically, first of all, availability. Is it available? Because sometimes it's quite possible if you don't have a good access to internet, your technology, then the online learning, e-learning might not be suitable for you. First of all, availability. Then second thing is basically ease of use. How easy it is. Like we are having our sessions on Zoom. We are having our sessions on Google Classroom. We are having our sessions on some other apps of Microsoft or any other provider like GoToWebinar or what it is basically. So it depends how easy it is. If you will look at the ranking, then which software ranking is one of the top software. So it will depend on you. So ease of use, availability, training, how you can go through different points of use. Then talking about next point, that is HRM, human resource management. Again, as we know that HRM means selecting someone, hiring someone, because that's a primary role of our HR department. So how we are going to hire, recruit our different lecturers, because we claim that they have good experience, we have very good results, we have excellent past results. So what about staff training, their CPD, continuous professional development, admin staff, different processes. And lastly, it is basically about the infrastructure. So infrastructure, that's a huge area. Infrastructure means the structure of our organization structure, the culture. What about our premises? What type of facilities we are going to provide? This is called as infrastructure. So that was brief discussion. I mentioned some of the points, what I got from this scenario and what I got from some knowledge that was relevant for our this private college of ABC Limited basically. We have another requirement, then how we can say why rate of transfer to ABC from other providers is increasing. Yes, can anyone answer? just think for a while why you think how value chain analysis could be used to assess why the rate of transfer to ABC from other providers is increasing.
I think one of the reason is this, like success rate is increased. I'm not sure if we can, is this based on the result, but I think passing ratio is
Yes.
Can you?
Yes, that's good. Because in value chain, we talk about that is something we need to mention, that is basically your value drivers. We know that what are our value drivers. As we discussed yesterday, that value drivers are going to provide our value. So we will be in a very good position so they can provide us competitive advantage because we know what is good. And if we can look at this situation, we have good staff, excellent results, basically innovation. We have online learning system, we have traditional classroom, we have a lot of facilities basically. So all of these makes a very good transfer rate to ABC as compared to our other providers basically. So this was a brief discussion because that's a minor portion. So you can just write down 2-3 name of what activities, all of them are basically your value drivers. So sometimes it is important that you use some of your keywords in your answer. So you know your value drivers, obviously your value drivers are going to provide you competitive advantage because you know what are your core competencies, where you can play, what is your strong area, like lecturers, excellent pass rate. So this is something very, very good for any institution like for ABC College, and that's why they have a very good and high successful rate for their results basically. So that's all from my side. Anyone else wants to contribute, please let me know.
So I have a question here, a sort of clarification. So in case of, so we had two types of activities in this question. One was to identify the main activities like primary activity and support activities, and then from this we need to identify which are the value drivers, as you mentioned, right? So these both are not specifically interlinked, but conceptually, when we, if it is real if it is a scenario in exam. So first we need to list down all primary and support activities first, and then from those we need to identify which are like value drivers. Just I want to understand conceptually if I'm right about the concept.
Yes. First of all, if you have such type of question, you should also understand, like if you go through this question, then in value chain, two type of activities, that primary and that are secondary or support. So most of your discussion would be for primary activities and secondary activities. And then a small amount of discussion would be about your value driver. Because if you talk about our exams, particularly ICAEW advanced level exam, then examiner does not mention, for example, if there are 3 requirements, requirement 1, 2, 3, then examiner will not mention which requirement or sub requirement contains how much marks. Let's say total marks for a question are 40 marks. Then examiner will not mention how much you have to write for requirement 1, 2, or 3. You have to analyze when you will go through the practice, past paper, question bank, you will be having discussion, you will be having an idea, then you can see which requirement will contain how many marks. Let's say, if I say this requirement is for, let's say 10 marks, then out of 10 marks, your 7 to 8 marks would be for discussion of the value chain, primary and secondary activities. And maximum 2 to 3 marks would be for remaining area. So it means most of your time should be for primary and secondary activities and a small discussion for your value driver. I hope when you go through the complete value chain model, you can identify value driver. If not completely, let's say if you just identify one value driver and briefly explain, then at least you can also get approximately 1 mark out of 2 or 3 marks. So it means you should not be worried about that thing. The important point is to focus on major area and you will learn what is our major requirement, which can contain a significant marks and how we have to respond. So at least if you will answer for value driver, just mention some name So you can get at least your passing mark. So first of all, go through major area and then go through the other areas as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, anyone else who wants to mention, who wants to participate, needs to discuss something about this question? The important thing is basically, first of all, try to focus on scenario. But if you think if your scenario is small, not much data is available, then you can use a small amount of relevant general knowledge, but do not use too much because you have to focus on the scenario. But to some extent, you can use it too, because we also have to get some of the marks in our exam as well. So that's a trick as well, because examiner wants to test it out what we think about some sort of institution, if you are talking about our studies and something like that. So it's all from my side for this practice session. Next, our next class would be basically about the investment appraisal. We completed our first chapter, that was theoretical side. So we will go through a different approach. Some of the lectures live, some of the lectures will be recorded, but most of the lectures and important points would be through our live mode basically. Like investment appraisal, if we talk about investment appraisal, then you can see there are different types of investment appraisal, like different points that we need to study. First of all, you must be having an idea about basic techniques, like as we have studied a lot of time, like what is ARR, or you can say ROCE, payback period, net present value, IRR, internal rate of return. But we have some modern techniques like discounted payback, advanced method. We will discuss MIRR, modified internal rate of return. We'll discuss APV, adjusted present value, other issues of inflation, taxation, sensitivity analysis, certainty equivalent approach, and lastly, the most important topic of our investment appraisal is basically about international NPV. What is international NPV? Let's say you are in a Gulf country and you want to go for your investment in UK country. Obviously, in Gulf, you have to use another currency, like let's say it is AED, dirham. But in UK, you have mostly that is used as GBP, Great Britain pound. So what will be the implication? So how much you can go for that? Obviously, if your investor is an Arabic person, so that person will be interested how much I am earning or losing in my own currency. So what are your currency rules? What are your foreign movements? What are your FX movements, and how you can convert GBP into AED? So we will discuss in our international NPV method basically. So first of all, just revise your basics, because in coming session, we will go through in a quick way for our basic, first of all, through some points, through some slides, having some practice session, practice questions from ICAEW study manual, like we can see. First of all, these are my notes, brief notes, because I believe that you people have an idea about payback period. Do not go into too much detail, just go through some of the basics. And then we will use this ICAEW study manual for our practice, because we have some questions for basics. Like we can see these formulas. So interactive question 1, 2, and 3 for these basics. And then we will move through our advanced level techniques, like you can say MIRR, this is something, an advanced level approach, APV, an advanced level approach, and international investment appraisal, that is international NPV basically. So that's all. I already mentioned what we are going to cover in next session, so people should revise, because it will be good thing. All of you can put up a question and we could have a good discussion in our coming session as well. So that's all from my side. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you.